Thank you, Andy, and welcome to everyone that's here in this sanctuary. And I know you'll notice that we've got some extra friends that are soft and furry. And so if you grab one of those, it would be wonderful to love on this beautiful thing while you're here today. And the little furry thing is soaking up the love and energy for the room. Welcome to those of you on YouTube. You can't cuddle a furry, but maybe you have one of your own you would like to cuddle at home and join us in that expression of love. We are so glad everyone is here today, and we are going to begin with our opening song. And here we go with it. Lovely. You have the words. We are about to move it.
Please rise for the opening song. I let the love wash over me. I let it be. I let the love wash over me. I let it be. I let the joy wash over me. I let it be. I let the Lord wash over me. I let it be. I let the peace wash over me. I let it be. I let the peace wash over me. I let it be. I let it be. I let it be. Well done, Douglas.
So as we let the love wash over us, knowing that the love is also within us, we let the joy wash over us, which is also within us. And let the peace wash over us as we are expressing peace in our lives. And I invite you to join me in awareness as we allow all of these qualities of God to simply express through us, knowing that they're already there. This is the day that God made. And I rejoice and am glad in this day. And I know in this day that I find all of the things that I am seeking in this day, that my soul is reaching out for in this day. I am feeling the love reverberating in this room, not just from this service, but from many services and all of the expression. It is here. It is here right now, and it is here for everyone. In gratitude, as I know that words of truth spoken from the heart are absolutely heard, and the creative process moves on this word, bringing it into my life experience. I know this is so. I allow it to be and say, and so it is. Wonderful. And so now we're going to invite up the wonderful Katie Frankel.
Thank you, Reverend Catherine. Good morning to my Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living family here in the sanctuary and on our YouTube channel. I'm so excited to hear today's speaker, practitioner Mark Ruth. Woo, woo, woo! Our announcements are as follows. This Monday, rock steady with our balance class, which continues until February 6th. It's from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. in Richelieu Hall. The fee is $10 per class. It's hosted by Monica Ruth and Dana Lemieux. On Tuesday at 10 a.m., Reverend Kathy is still untethering our souls as the in-person book written by Michael Singer continues. Also Tuesday at 11 a.m. is yoga class. You all know this. Bring your mat. It's at 11 a.m. and the cost is $10. On Wednesday at 9:45 a.m. on Zoom, so our YouTube friends can join us, the book reading continues titled Learn to Live by Irvin Seal. Please email the office for a Zoom link. Also on Wednesday, we're going to have our morning service at 11 right here, also on YouTube, with Reverend Catherine McKinney speaking. No? It's Monica Ruth. All right, it's Ruth Week here. Got it. All right. Monica Ruth, there was a change. Thank you. I'm glad you corrected me on that. And you guys, this is really cool. Thursday, February 2nd from 2 to 3:30. Please join us in the foyer. This is our spiritual discussion group. This is an intimate gathering. Please see Mark or Monica, it's Ruth Week, with any questions about spiritual discussion. It's great because, you know, we all have a topic and it's very interactive. It's really a great time and hearty discussion. Then, right after the spiritual discussion on Thursday, slide into the Labyrinth Walk from 3:30 to 5:30. This is in Richelieu Hall. Reverend Kathy's going to provide a guided meditation at the beginning. This is a wonderful time to really be still and know as you walk the labyrinth at your own pace. If you've never done this before, bring some warm socks because you don't wear shoes over there, all right? And Jane and the other hosts will coach you on how to walk the labyrinth. It's really a nice meditative experience. Looking ahead, please join Reverend Valerie Reeves for her workshop, The Magic in You, on Sunday, February 5th. This is from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. in Richelieu Hall. February is the month of love, and we'll explore the magic within and the commitment to ourselves. Also want to let everyone know that the Women's Circle will meet every second Sunday now. Please join us on February 12th at 12:30 p.m. in the Teen Room. This is a group of spiritually minded women who meet each month for discussion, creativity, camaraderie, and we'd love for you to join us. Also want to let everyone know that January 30th, starting this week, through April 4th, is the season for nonviolence. This is dedicated to demonstrating nonviolence as a powerful way to heal, transform, and empower our lives and our communities. Inspired by the 50th and 30th memorial anniversaries of Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. This is an international event and honors their vision for an empowered, nonviolent world. There are copies of the 64 days available at the front desk, and you can email the office for a PDF of this as well. Tomorrow is the first day, and the topic is courage. February is our Bears of Love month. This is a time when we bring bears into the sanctuary to get cuddled and filled with love. We pass them on to a wonderful organization called My Stuffed Bags Foundation that we give children all over America who are going through a challenging time. There's a bear to hug throughout the year. So as Reverend Catherine said at the beginning, bring in a middle-sized bear and pass on the love from now to the end of February. Quick reminder, you guys, that our Science of Mind Sunday class is every Sunday from 10:15 to 10:45 a.m. before this service. As Reverend Catherine promised last year, we want to let you know our next annual meeting is Sunday, March 5th. I really want to take this moment to thank everyone who continues to show up and hold up this Center for Spiritual Living. We really look forward to meeting with you Sunday the 5th. Please be sure to pay your 2023 membership to attend. The $35 membership fee also entitles you to a discount on classes and a 10% discount on books. For your convenience, you can pay this membership at the front desk. We take this moment to remind you there's several ways you can donate to our center. We really appreciate your presence here today and also online. We thank you so much for your messages and your important financial donations. A real big thank you to all of our wonderful volunteers who are here throughout the week. We appreciate you all so much. And now let's hear from our singer again today, Douglas Ladnier.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and granted when wished on the morning star? Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing, and what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep, and have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is it the sweet sound that calls the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. There's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da da dee da da dum, la da 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 dee da da da.
Good morning. Thank you, Douglas. You're waving that unicorn around like we won't notice your mustache. This new. Nice look. During the month of January, we have revisited the first 4 chapters in the Science and Mind textbook. We've discussed the nature of God in the first week, the law responding to our consciousness in the second week, infinite intelligence creating through the outpicturing of our dominant thoughts in the third week, and last week, how we become competent manifestors by consciously controlling our thoughts and intentionally directing the law. Now today, Mark is putting the icing on the cake, so to speak, and talking about divine mind. Throughout the Science and Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, says over and over again, God is all there is. There is but one mind in the universe. In the book, The Philosophy of Ernest Holmes, Dr. Holmes credited ancient Hinduism as one of the many sources contributing to this teaching. Holmes said, "In the teachings of India, we find a very great concept of the unity of all life. The Hindus believed in one God and also in the mind that sleeps in the mineral, waves in the grass, wakes to simple consciousness in the animal, wakes to self-consciousness in the human, and ultimately to cosmic consciousness in this ascending scale." Ernest Holmes says we are merely going up a scale of unity. These levels of consciousness are not different things. They are the same one mind functioning at different levels. The Bible tells us that we're created in the image and likeness of God. In speaking about an ascending scale of consciousness, we may call this highest level cosmic consciousness or divine ideal, as Thomas Troward labeled it, or we might even call it Christ consciousness. At this highest level of the one mind, not only do humans have free will and freedom of choice, but we gain the recognition that we are a child of God. We then make all of our choices in alignment with the nature of God. Our motivation is love, not hatred or revenge. Our choices and our actions are life-affirming, not destructive or demeaning. At this highest level of the one mind, we intentionally choose to be a channel, a vessel, a way that God and goodness show up in this world. We're no longer motivated by selfish or self-centered desires, but rather for the betterment and the upliftment of all. And that brings us to the global vision of Centers for Spiritual Living, a world that works for everyone. That's why our annual review of the Science and Mind teaching is so valuable. As we better understand God and the way that divine mind creates, we can become better skilled in the use of spiritual tools to help transform our lives and our world for the upliftment of all. Please affirm with me. Today, I focus only on the good I wish to see and experience. I am divinely guided, and I go forth to greet my good. And so it is. And now we'll have our congregational song before Mark speaks.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Keep a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes our prayer.
Well, good morning. Let me bring my safety net over here, just in case. Yes, she did say I'm going to put the icing on the cake, but the real truth here, and it is the truth from Ruth, she is the icing in the cake of my life. January is an exciting month, not only in the Centers for Spiritual Living, but in my life. It's my birthday month, so I feel good about that. And the monthly theme for the Centers for Spiritual Living for this month was boot and reboot. And I think Monica covered the boot and reboot with going over those first 4 weeks of the basic teachings of Science of Mind. But this is the 5th Sunday, so I got to pick my own topic, and I said, well, let's go with Divine Mind to see if we can get into a little bit more depth. But after listening to Reverend Catherine's opening prayer and the song, Peace, Love, and Joy, washing over us, and what Monica had to say, I could sit down and you know everything you need to know about Divine Mind. However, before I get into Divine Mind, I'd like to honor the season for nonviolence. It begins tomorrow, and that is the 75th anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi's assassination. Now, Mahatma is not his name. That's a Sanskrit word meaning great soul. You know, I don't know very many attorneys who have that name, Great Soul. But Gandhi, not only being an attorney, he also, through his philosophy of nonviolence, freed India from British rule. So he's a powerful person and obviously an attorney I look up to. I would like to quote from Gandhi, if I may. Hopefully these are in order. Gandhi said, "Always aim at complete harmony of thought and word and deed. Always aim at purifying your thoughts, and everything will be well." Interesting. purifying your thoughts. Is Gandhi hinting at a divine mind? I always like to also take a look at what Science of Mind has to say about divine mind. So I go to the founder, Ernest Holmes, in his textbook, The Science of Mind. In the glossary, he defines it. Divine mind is the one mind. This spirit within us is the divine mind. Now, Ernest Holmes was greatly influenced by Thomas Troward. So what did Thomas Troward have to say about spirit? In the Dore Lectures, Thomas Troward said, "We can sum up the whole of the feelings, which is the original moving impulse in the spirit, as love, happiness, harmony, and joy." Now, there are times in my life I did not feel peace, love, harmony. I hearken back, even though it's over 40 years ago, because I vividly remember the feelings of going through my divorce. It caused a lot of hurt and a lot of anger. I felt like my dreams of life were being crushed. The 3 children I had, the family I imagined was going to be gone. My financial security was going to be ruined. I felt like I would never be loved again. That caused a lot of hurt and a lot of anger, and had a great impact on my entire life. Working as a young attorney, I couldn't focus on the job. I did not have any spiritual community. I did not have any spiritual or religious philosophy. I didn't have a minister. I didn't have a practitioner. I was sinking. One of the fellow attorneys I work with, he saw that I was going down for the count. I felt like he picked me up by the collar and he says, "Mark, you need therapy." Fortunately, his brother-in-law was a therapist. I took his advice, struggled through that for a couple of years. One thing that I really resisted in that therapy sessions is whenever I would get into my story and get into my hurt and get into my anger and whatever the situation was, he would say to me, "Mark, go sit in that chair over there." Why? He says, "That's the chair of the better person." Ooh. So go over in that chair and now tell me what the better man would do. Ooh, I did not like that. I had to give up thinking solely about my anger and my hurt and blaming my ex for everything. I had to give that up and go, "Oof, what would a better man do?" Slowly, when you look at things from a different perspective, your tight grip on that one way you were looking at it loosens up a little bit. I began slowly to recognize it takes 2 to tango, that I had some personal responsibility in that marriage, and that it wasn't all my ex's fault. Okay, stop being a little bit of the victim. Stop being so angry. But even though I was getting better, I felt in retrospect, maybe that was the first tiny step towards divine mind. But I know that I carried that anger and resentment, maybe not in as much as in the beginning. Once again, in retrospect, took a number of years, but I found science of mind. I found religious science and their beliefs in peace, harmony, forgiveness, gratitude. And these science of mind principles helped me to move on. Now, the Dalai Lama, he was asked, "Do you feel anger?" And he admittedly said, "Yes, I get angry." The person questioning said, "Oh my Lord, the holiest man on the planet, and he gets angry." He had to follow up with the question, "Well, what do you do when you're angry?" "Well, I think about it for a few seconds, and I let it go." I go, "I've been carrying this anger for a number of years." But with science of mind, I let it go. I let it go because I believe my relationship with my ex is very favorable. We celebrate Christmas together with the kids and the grandkids, celebrate birthdays together with the kids, the grandkids. I have a monthly poker tournament. She's part of the monthly poker tournament. And as icing on the cake, when Monica and I are on vacation, she watches our cat for us. Now, if that's not a healthy relationship, I don't know what is. And of course, I treat her to some of my nice wine. So, as we take the steps into science of mind, we begin to have more of a divine mind, or we become aware of that divine mind in us. And the question becomes, well, how are we going to use that? Now, this better man technique helped. Science of mind principles really helped, and it continues. I was, as I mentioned in the Wednesday service a couple of weeks ago, I was watching one of my continuing legal education seminars because my deadline is January 31st. So I have 25 hours, and I'm down to about 4 or 5 hours, so I feel I'm good. But in that particular seminar, of course, I wasn't fully listening. I was doing other things. But suddenly, the lady was doing a meditation. And what popped on the screen was mindful, 2 words, and mindful, 1 word. And my Wednesday talk was the benefits of being mindful, 1 word, and not having the monkey mind with your mind full of a bunch of negative thoughts. So the mindful, 1 word, she said had health benefits: calming, reducing anxiety, worry. And they showed through studies that mindfulness helps in reducing the likelihood of relapse in drug abuse cases. I said, wow, that's pretty powerful stuff. Then I thought, well, if there are health benefits, and we do have a form of walking meditation right here at this center. The first Thursday of every month at 3:30 in Richelieu Hall, there's the Labyrinth. Jane Zumbrow facilitates that. Reverend Kathy gives a short guided meditation. But it's a walking meditation for you to be mindful. And mindful is getting us that step closer to divine mind because of what we're focusing on. The benefits of that, Thich Nhat Hanh, Buddhist monk, says, and I quote, "You don't have to make any effort during walking meditation because it is enjoyable. You are fully alive, fully present in the here and now. With every step, you touch the wonders of life that are in you and around you. Every step brings you healing. Every step brings peace and joy, because every step is a miracle. Now, if you choose that to be your consciousness while you are doing that walking meditation in the labyrinth, aren't you getting closer to that divine mind that is always within you, and you are making the choice to be aware of it and how to use it? Now, I'm getting real close in those continuing legal educations. And so another seminar came up very recently on building an inclusive law firm and community. And it was put on by Dr. Artika Tyner, attorney at law. You don't usually see those two titles together. She's a well-educated person. And this was one of the best inclusion, diversity seminars I'd ever taken. Got my full attention. She went on to explain, where implied biases come from, all of this type of stuff. Very good information. But I sat back and I said, science of mind. I'm very used to diversity and inclusion. Why? Because we have the philosophy that no matter what your race, no matter what your culture, no matter what your lifestyle, everyone has the God essence within them, and everyone is welcome here. So, inclusion in our spiritual community and our diversity is welcome here. I felt very comfortable with that concept, and once again, I think it gets us closer to that divine mind. Now, she went on to point out that she was from Minnesota, and that more was needed than just being Minnesota nice. Okay, what's that all about? She then quotes from Langston Hughes, and he was a poet, author, activist, and a powerful voice in the Black community. And in 1995, he said, he encouraged being more than passively good-hearted is necessary for change. Being more than passively good-hearted. So you can be good-hearted, but are you using all the attributes of divine mind in relating to others? And that's the key question. Now, Holmes, in the textbook, was once again right in line with this philosophy. And I quote, "Merely to abstain from wrong thinking is not enough. There must be active right thinking. We must become actively constructive and happy in our thinking, not just passively so." Why? Because that's getting us to using the principles of divine mind when we interact. When we see others and relate to others, are we doing so from our highest point of view? Are we doing it from love, peace, harmony, and joy? That's using our divine mind. But there are so many times that people seem to push my buttons. I don't know if you've ever had that experience. And I sit back and I go, wow, with all of this training and philosophy and knowledge, something gets under my skin. Well, hopefully, like the Dalai Lama, I let it last only a little bit, and I let it go. I try to remember the words of Don Miguel Ruiz in the Four Agreements. One of the agreements, don't take it personally. Okay, those are very good words. Got to try to put them into practice. And then Terry Cole Whitaker, her book was What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. I said, ooh, that too, that's pretty powerful. But I get to the concept of, am I just tolerating that behavior? Am I just accepting it? Is that like being just passive? Or is there a subtle but meaningful distinction between tolerating someone and allowing them to be who they are? In the book, The Law of Attraction by Esther and Jeremy Hicks, they explain this distinction. Tolerance may seem to be an advantage for others because you are not hindering them for what they want to do. But tolerance is not an advantage to you, because while you are being tolerant, you are still feeling negative emotion, and therefore you are still negatively attracting that negative feeling. So, if we're coming from that divine mind and not just tolerating, but seeing someone from our consciousness, our highest point of view, with love, peace, harmony, and joy, now we are using those principles to the highest level. Now, as a reminder, sometimes I get off the track. We all get off the track. And I have to do a treatment. And so sometimes I do a treatment for getting to my highest consciousness, my highest good. Because that's a reminder to me, that's the affirmative seed I am planting as to what I want to attract into my life. Now, Ernest Holmes summarizes the divine mind. That as our minds become more like the divine mind, we shall expand into a greater livingness. We should strive toward a perfect vision, a perfect conception. We should expand our thought until it realizes all good. So, what we have is the progression. All right? I started out as the better man, trying to think of what that person would do. I progressed to science of mind principles. I've used prayer treatment. And I've learned that the trained mind is more powerful than the untrained mind. And we've seen today that the divine mind is in each and every one of us. And the key question is how we choose to become aware of it, believe in it, and use it. And that choice is yours. And that's the truth from Ruth, and so it is. Thank you.
Somebody left me a note there. This is the time of our offering, and after we do the offering blessing, I will share with everyone our mission statement. So let us go. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love, and so it is. At the time of our offering, we like to share with you what we're doing because we know that your donations to us support our mission, which is to honor your presence, to nurture your spirit, and to enrich the lives of all we serve. And so I get messages, others get messages that we share with you about how we're doing that. This one reads, I am writing to thank you for the prayer support I received for a recent, very difficult physical problem. I know that when one is in pain and suffering, that we have more trouble being able to know what we need to know. I appreciate so much the feeling of peace I found at the words of the prayer I received. Thank you so very, very much. And I thank this person for the letter. And now Douglas, I do this, it's a D name. Douglas is going to share with us his lovely song. Thank you.
You must have a Dennis in your life. I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, and it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. The special themes I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. Well, I don't care, just call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say that you'll bring me along to the world you see, to the world I closed my eyes to see. I closed my eyes to see. And every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
A million dreams for the world we're going to make. Isn't that magnificent? Thank you so much. It's from the World's Greatest Showman. Yes, wonderful, wonderful music. That's World's Greatest Showman is where the music comes from. Thank you. We've had some wonderful messages today. I truly feel I was sitting there thinking that we are honoring our mission statement in so many ways. I appreciated the way Mark talked about tying in the idea of being and doing the meditation with the labyrinth that you have the opportunity to walk this week in Richelieu Hall. We have so many opportunities for everyone to grow in your own spiritual awareness, to grow in your own spiritual way of being, from musical inspiration to the words, to the classes that we have ongoing. This is all here for you, and that is why we do what we do. And so let us know all of the things that you especially like, that you want more of. Just let us know. Next Sunday afternoon, there is a workshop that Reverend Valerie Reeves is doing. We have a really, really delightful resource in Reverend Valerie Reeves. She does fantastic workshops. She did workshops for us before there was ever any thought of having her here as part of our staff. Yesterday, we had this magnificent practitioner seminar. From all over our region, people came. And we were here all day till later in the afternoon. Reverend Valerie did one of the workshops as well as another fantastic workshop. And we had a speaker that stood here giving us the most wonderful words. They're echoing in here. The feelings are echoing in here. And this is what we do. And so I say again, tell us what it is that we want to do together, that we want to come together and do. And remember that no matter what is going on in the world beyond us, that we can know that that peace, the joy and love that we allow to wash over us has got to wash over us first, so that we move and allow that healing feeling for ourselves, so that we are then poised to be the person we want to be in that greater world. And I'm saying yes to that. As we share this blessing today, I want you to think about all of those people beyond yourself as well as yourself that are absolutely hungry for the blessings we're sharing. And don't forget your own affirmations for yourself for this year. All of these things are for your good and for the greater good. So let us share together. Divine light leads me. Divine life lives in me. Divine wisdom inspires me. Divine compassion expresses through me. And divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life and expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and wellness, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life, there is only God, there is only God, there is only God. So let us stand and with perfect fervor and joy, rise and sing, "Let there be peace on earth." And I want to remind everyone that at the close of our service, practitioners will be here, and they are ready to help you with your prayers.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live